The latest federal census figures are out, and Lethbridge is getting both older and younger. According to the 2011 census, both the number of children and people over 65 continue to grow in the city. Children 14 and under make up 16.5% of the city's population, while seniors make up 15.2%. The working class, those aged 15 to 64, account for 68% of the population. We're all getting older. You don't need the new census to tell you that, but there is an interesting trend that hasn't been seen in decades. CTV's Arinda Alman explains.
Baby Michael is only 5 months old, but mom Natalia already has the future in mind.
Thinking about daycare, which is kind of the next phase of our life, and then I guess education and what school he's going to go to.
It's the stuff all new parents think about and plan for. But now new census numbers show the rush may be on to get your kids in. In the last 5 years, the population of kids under the age of 4 has grown by 11%. It's the highest it's been in 50 years. The last time was the end of the baby boom. This economics professor says the numbers make sense. As the baby boomer population enters its 60s, their kids are having kids of their own.
That means as we go forward in the next 5 or so years, we'll be closing colleges and universities and opening kindergartens.
This mother of 2 says getting her kids into rec programs and preschool is already tough.
It's crazy trying to get through on the day of to get them into swimming or t-ball or any of that kind of stuff, and we haven't been able to.
And as far as grandma and grandpa babysitting, well, new parents may be out of luck there too. New census figures show the working age population is getting older, with a record number still working by the age of 64.
$3, please.
Like convenience store owner Hannah, the 60-year-old still works 6 days a week and half days on Sunday.
From the morning, I leave home at 7:30, and maybe 4:30, 5 o'clock.
And 62-year-old George,
Tomatoes, lettuce, I make a tzatziki sauce.
who after 37 years working double shifts, says he's now cut down to 3 days a week. But all that is far into the future for little Anna and Michael.
It's nice if people are having kids, and I'm glad that he's going to have a lot of peers.
And if these latest numbers are any indication, expect those peers to continue to multiply in the coming years.
Well, seniors now represent, as we said, 15.2% of the population in Lethbridge. That's a ratio higher than the national average. The census was taken at a time when the first baby boomers turned 65. That number is expected to continue to climb as more boomers head for retirement. The federal census showed that 12,710 people in Lethbridge were age 65 or older, and by the time the next census is taken in 2016, Stats Canada expects Canada to be home to as many seniors as children, which they say will force governments to make difficult choices, such as how funding should be allocated to health care versus education. Seniors we spoke to say they're satisfied with the level of health care they're currently receiving, but say it could always be better.
I had a very serious illness last winter. Was in the hospital for 3 months. I didn't have to pay a cent for it. Came home, had home care and physio, everything. So I mean, how much more than that can the province do? There may be other things that they don't do, but the health care, I think, is very good.
Yes, I think we could get a little more help with some of our medications and things like that we have to put out quite a bit of money on our own if we want something a little bit better.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I don't have anything to say anything about.
Lethbridge's total population now sits at 106,000.